Now, for the past few weeks, the waters have not settled in the Kenya creatives industry as the different film agencies have engaged in a push and pull, a suggestion by the Kenya Films and Classification Board to license content uploaded on the internet ruffled feathers with another body, the Kenya Films Commission, saying that the Ezekiel Mutua-led commission is obsessed with imposing fees. However, where does it leave the content creators and other factions in the creatives industry? It is on this note that I am now joined in studio by Davideo, the CEO of Davideo Films. Pleasure. A very warm welcome to the program this hour.
Thank you.
Maybe as we begin off, David, what is your general opinion in regards to these proposed fees that are going to be imposed on creatives rather in the industry?
All right, thank you very much. Actually, personally, I can say that it is unnecessary. It's unnecessary for frugal filmmakers and for the youths, because it's you know, film industry in Kenya is one of those industries that has created employment for so many people. Like for me, you know, in my company, I have so many youths, all of them working with me. And if the rules are going to be implemented, and then even the clients themselves are not going to do videos, it's going to be very expensive for them. Yeah.
You think this is going to curtail, you know, people trying to venture into the film industry?
Yeah, of course. Of course, because how can you license me for filming, like even taking pictures, you know, even uploading content to YouTube, you have to pay. I think Ezekiel Mutua is just being not fair, and sometimes, you know, I wonder if he has ever gone to a film school. And I always suggest that in this commission of the Kenya Film Classification Board, we should be having our very own leading this commission, because I think he doesn't understand exactly.
He does not understand.
Yeah.
Do you think then the government, through its you know, relevant ministry, is doing anything to shield the filmmakers, the creatives in the industry from this, you know, what they say is a harsh environment?
No, I think the government is doing nothing but making it harder for us as filmmakers to do our job. Because, you know, if the licensing, like now Zainab, you know, if you have to go filming, you have to pay for security, you have to pay for drones, you know, the drone licenses that were passed a few years ago. So the government is making it harder for us. And, you know, Mr. President Uhuru Kenyatta's one of his agendas was to create jobs.
For the youth. For
the youths. Now he's not going to create jobs through having people like Ezekiel Mutua in office who are going to pass rules like these ones. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
Then what do you think? What do you think the government? What kind of measures do you think the government then should put in place to ensure that you guys are protected as filmmakers?
Disband Kenya Film Classification Board. If not so, then KFC should be led by our own. That is the first thing. The second thing is that they should create another body. You know, like for now, the KFCB, his work is to classify films, PG and that way. And the work of Kenya Film Commission is to license. I think Mutua is doing Kenya Film Commission's job. And so the government itself should come in. We are requesting the government to come in, and so that they can help us so that we can do our job very, very well. Yeah, we have started up an organization of the Kenyan filmmakers. All the big directors are there. J. Blessing, Young Wales, Samidi, name them, all of them. It is called audiovisual rights, and we are fighting for our rights. We have already registered as a commission. And we're going
do you think this will be able to help, you know, and help the creatives in the industry, as well as compared to what you're saying, the KFCB is not helping the creatives in the industry? They do not understand. So having these people placed in that top commission, they understand what you people are going through.
Yes, they have the idea. They know how the struggles. You know, film equipment is very expensive. Now, when you come with licensing, it's going to be very hard, Zainab. And most of us are frugal filmmakers. Personally, I have not gone to a film school. I have learned by my own everything. So when we're talking about licensing, I don't support. I don't agree totally.
Now, KFCB issued a 14-day notice to filmmakers creating videos meant for public exhibition without a valid license to comply or face the full force of the law. So this was also interpreted to mean that even if you use your mobile phone to, record something that you're going to put up on your social media, maybe just give us an insight into that to make us understand really, is that how it's supposed to be?
That's what I call arrogance. Ezekiel Mutwa is very arrogant, by the way. That post, I think it was on his Twitter account, right? Yes. So how can you, phones, we take pictures each and every day, and as filmmakers, you can find something and then you decide to film it for social media. If you decide to do it this way, but he came back and said after we engaged Senator of Nairobi, Sakaja, yes. And then now he came back and said no, for the YouTube and social media is not going to license. So he withdrew that statement.
All right. Yeah. Do you think that's at least much better?
It's not even much better, it's worse. Because all we want is to be supported.
All right.
Yeah. In fact, filming in Kenya is very expensive than filming in Hollywood. And that's why films like Black Panther are being filmed in South Africa.
Instead of Kenya.
Instead of Kenya. That film was to be filmed here, but now it was filmed in South Africa simply because of the high fees of licensing.
So this means it does not even give a good environment to even, filmmakers who are not based in Kenya to want to come here, but then they get, there's so much that is happening, they just don't want to film here.
Yeah, there's no mentorship, there's no support, so nobody wants to be here. Even personally, I get that chance, I'll just fly and go away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I will not come back.
But you're a Kenyan, you have to stay here. You have to
there's no support,
Kenya.
there's no empowerment.
You see? But you have to fight for that right now.
That's what
to get that opportunity to even create the doors for other people.
That is what we're doing.
Well, there's been a suggestion that Kenyans deserve a Ministry of Culture and Creatives industry. What is your take on the same? Do you think this is going to help really harness the talent in the country?
Yeah, okay, it can help, depending on who is leading that creative industry. Because if once again you bring a doctor to be the head of that ministry, then it's not going to help. But if you're getting guys like those well-known film directors in this country to lead that ministry, it's going to be okay. Yeah.
Personally, is this idea or venture still viable that you can ask anyone to come into more so as a way of job creation and employment opportunity?
Pardon?
Filmmaking, do you think this is a venture that someone can work in and actually make money out of it?
Yeah, I feed my family. I'm not married. Our family with film. I have my studio because of film. I do audiovisual production, photography because of film. It's a very big industry and it pays very well than any other profession in this world. Even
despite all the challenges and obstacles that you're facing?
Yeah, it pays. Filming is done daily. Yeah, music videos and everything. It's a job that we do daily.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting a question here.
All right.
Young filmmakers who cannot afford capital for their film, what advice would you give for them to access funding?
Now there's another problem.
Yes.
They have to go hard. In Kenya, you have to work hard. You have to work hard. You have to believe in God. You have to get out of your comfort zone for you to be able to buy those equipments, but it's very expensive to start as a filmmaker without a mentor. Find someone, find mentorship, and then
mentorship. Do you think mentorship will help?
Yeah, if like you want to become a filmmaker and you're working, a person like me, going with me to shoots, working with me, you learn the process, and after learning the process, you'll also establish yourself through the small savings that you'll make, and then you'll be there. Okay,
in terms of education, do you we've seen the new curriculum that is now at least helping young kids be able to tap to their talents at a very young age from primary school. How do you think this is going to help the films industry?
I support the new curriculum. I support it because it is a career-based curriculum. If you want to become a photographer, if you want to become a doctor, you just go in that line. So I support it, and it's going to help us a lot as a country to move forward in also achieving Vision 2030. Vision 2030.
Yes. All right, let me just divert a little bit from, it will touch on the film, but obviously it's something that affects all Kenyans. We had seen the handshake happen earlier on this year. Now today, during the National Prayer Breakfast today, we've seen, a bigger national handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta and hugs and embraces. Do you think this new unity will be able to help the youth, and even in terms of helping in curbing the youth unemployment rate in the country?
Yes, because when there's peace, there's progress. And the president of Kenya actually means well for this country, and is a president who supports the youth a lot. The problem is those people are working with him. Anyway, I support the handshake, the hugs, actually. My handshake here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I support it very much.
All right, Davideo, you don't go away. We'll be back with Davideo, just a filmmaker in the country, and the challenges that the filmmakers are going through, especially during this proposal of the new KFCB laws. But before that, power supply in and around the Nairobi Central Business District may be up for a boost following the launch of a gas-insulated substation. The substation is part of the city's upgrade program that is aimed at improving the flexibility of the power distribution system in Nairobi. During the launch of the program, President Uhuru Kenyatta said that this program is built on the backdrop of the Big Four agenda that aims at boosting the manufacturing industry, that aims to provide for the creation of job opportunities to thousands of Kenyans.
This is a responsibility of every single Kenyan to protect this infrastructure that is the base of our ability to create the environment we need to create jobs for our sons and daughters. When we destroy it, we are destroying ourselves. That our objective in building this infrastructure is to encourage manufacturing, which again encourages jobs for our people. We will no longer, and I'm sure you've seen from the current raids, continue to allow counterfeit goods that come into this country and into our markets, thereby denying our sons and daughters gainful employment.
Now, small-scale farmers in Kenya will continue losing billions of shillings in earnings as the government cuts budgetary support for the agricultural sector. The sector is said to barely achieve the country's goals of food security due to lack of financial support. Early this year, the Treasury stated that the government had prioritized policies aimed at cushioning the agricultural sector and ensuring food security over the next 3 years. But the government's financial support for the agriculture is seen to be inadequate. Data from the projected budget estimates for a continued trend in allocation, with agriculture spending peak at 2.4% of the total expenditure. All right, and as we continue our conversation on the proposed laws that will impact the creatives industry in the country and the filmmaking industry in Kenya, I'm joined in studio by Davideo Ghetto, rather says it's Davideo Ghetto. Davideo, all right, CEO of Davideo Films. And of course, as we take a look at what is happening in the country now, you know, we are seeing the Kenya Film Classification Board now at loggerheads with the Kenya Film Classification, and this is creating a problem. Do you think this is going to impact the creative, industry?
Yeah.
Because then we have two, they say when two cows, the Kiswahili nini ng'ombe wawili wakipigana, yes, nyasi umia, yes.
Yeah, it's going to affect them because, as I said, the work of KFCB is to classify films as PG, and also to, let me just read it here. It's just here. Their work is also to classify in subcategories, and the mandate of the KFC is to license. The Kenya Film Commission is to license.
All right.
And if each commission decides to stay to their jobs, and then they will not collide. But if they fight, let them fight.
Because KFC is saying KFCB is, a quote, obsessed with film fees. Is it true?
Yeah, I think it's true. It is true. But now, okay, where is this money going to go? The money that we're going to pay. If now we decide we're going to pay 10,000 for shooting per day. And now ask yourself, Zainab, for those frugal filmmakers, those who are doing low-budget films, how are they going to survive? If you're doing a video of 10,000, because I know the guys who are doing videos below 10,000, then it's not going to work.
They're only going to make losses when it comes to that.
Losses, actually, bad losses. So we need support from, actually we're not fighting Mutua, but all we're saying is that he's arrogant and he doesn't want to listen.
So you want Ezekiel Mutua to come down and reason with the filmmakers
yes.
in the industry and
yes.
understand where you people are coming from.
Yes. If he wants us to pay, we will pay. Actually, there's no problem. We will pay, but yearly. If you say you want us to pay 5,000 per year for having that license to film, it's okay. But daily, per shoot, it's not going to work. That's a lot of money. For the youth.
For the youth.
Yes.
The country's film sector, despite all the obstacles, is valued at around 500 million shillings in its annual turnover. And creators like you go through a lot, but what is it that can be done to pull corporate or sponsors to come in and even help, and not just look at the government and not look at the individuals, but also have, you know, private sector come in to help the film industry?
Yeah, by the government lowering their licensing fees and making it easier to film in Kenya, we'll have a lot. So many people will like to invest in this industry, but as for now, nobody wants to invest in the Kenyan film industry. Nobody. Yeah, because it's very hard. Filming in Kenya is very expensive. So if the government makes it easier for us to film here, then international investors are going to come here to film, because Kenyans, we are very talented, and in Kenya we have talent. We have talent in Kenya.
All right.
Yeah.
We've also seen, you know, the new film that was produced by a Kenyan producer, Rafiki, that was cancelled out and not to be exhibited in the country. What is your sentiments on that? Do you think that will be eroding the very moral core of the country by, you know, exhibiting, you know, homosexual behavior?
No. You know, that is reasoning. You know who I'm talking about. Mutua's reasoning. It's not gonna. It's not immoral. You know, it is just a film, and film is an art.
But you know what, Ezekiel says he needs to protect the country and the young people from witnessing such things that, you know, are westernized.
What about Hollywood films which play on our TVs and they have the same content? What about them?
All right.
Yeah. Then they should go for them too. Yes, because they play daily on TV homosexuality, lesbianism. Yeah.
But this is, he says, to cushion, you know, the country from witnessing such things.
No.
And making it, you know, a normal thing.
You know where the world has reached?
Yes.
We have to move with the world sometimes. So you cannot say that Kenyans now will be holy, will not be... okay, it's not... Homosexuality is bad.
All right.
It's bad, actually. But I don't agree.
But you don't agree with that? You should let everyone do what they feel like doing is correct for them.
Film is an art.
All right.
And as where the world has reached, there's homosexuality. And what's wrong with you including that in your script?
All right.
Yes.
All right. David, lastly, what advice would you give the Kenya Film Classification Board in terms of allowing you people to be able to, you know, use your talents effectively in the country without all these obstacles and challenges coming in on your way? Okay.
First of all, I would like them to give us support by ensuring that whenever we're going to shoot, maybe in public places like in Parliament, KICC, we are not paying. Yes, they should make it easier for us to film. They should give us security. They should protect our rights and not fighting us. Yes, because they are there to fight for us. And actually, we are their bosses.
Because you're the ones who are actually providing the content.
Actually, we are paying taxes. Listen, we pay for the city county license. You want us to also pay for filming license. It's not going to work. Yes, but we want to meet and talk. You know, I'm here on behalf of almost 150 filmmakers in this country. They know that I'm here and they're watching.
All right.
So we want to talk, we want to meet him and talk so that we agree on a common ground.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Davideo Ogeto, CEO of the Davideo.
Ogeto is my name.
All right.
Davideo is my stage name.
Stage name, all right. Thank you very much, David Ogeto, for coming in and, you know, demystifying for us some of the issues that you're facing as filmmakers. And we hope that Ezekiel Mutua will be able to come, you know, on a level ground and be able to understand where filmmakers and the creatives in the creative industry are coming from. Well,